Alright, so let's go on to the next one because I won't get to these other ones. So yesterday, my mum dragged me out to a movie, which is very rare for her. And we saw The New Boy, which I'll say this, and I guess we can talk about this too, Dad. People need to see Australian movies because the Australian filmmaking company do some pretty well movies. Not that they're not everyone's cup of tea, but I think it's one of those things where it's like you do have a lot of interesting things that certain people, if you're into that sort of thing, will enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't have Australia doesn't have the big budgets like America does, where
Exactly.
you get the big explosions and
Exactly.
and stuff like that and all of that type of stuff. Whereas Australia is more
Even though
around telling
they do
stories.
shoot a lot of American stuff out here.
Oh, they do, but that's good. But
Yeah.
the reason that they come out here, Jack, is because the Australian government has given all of these movie, like Marvel or Disney and stuff like
Mainly
that,
Disney because Fox
these
Studios
tax
was-
breaks,
Yeah.
right? So they come out here because it's cheaper to make a movie
Yeah.
than what it is in America, which is good. It's good for our industry in that the fact that it gives Australian actors an opportunity to be part of those big movies. But at the same time, I believe there's a little bit of... It can be of some detriment to the Australian film industry because it doesn't... We don't have the cash to... You know, some of these actors, you know, the Margot Robbies of the world who get paid big dollars, and Hugh Jackman and stuff like that. But you know, but then you've got the likes of Kate Blanchett, who was in this,
Yeah.
who is a big name actress in America and has done big movies in America, but she also spends a lot of time on Australian stuff as well.
Yeah, because
Right.
like you have her, like the two standouts was definitely her and oh my god, the chick who did that
Deborah Mailman,
show.
the Aboriginal girl, Deborah Mailman.
Is it Deborah?
She was on Play School years ago.
She was during the era that I was watching Play School.
Yeah.
And also,
She's very funny, Deborah
yeah,
Mailman.
she was.
Yeah.
She's also really good in that show that I actually didn't mind that. I don't know if it was History or Geo, but it was about Parliament, I think.
Yeah, it was Deborah Mailman. I can't remember the name, and I know what you mean.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
but she was really good in that show. I think that she's one of those actors that, like, to people like us, she's an A-lister, but to people like in America and stuff would be like your C D-list.
Maybe. But you know what? They spend a lot of time developing the Australian industry, right?
I think that's why not a lot of people know her, because she is...
because she stays in
like-
Australia.
Yeah, because she does a lot of films in Australia, and
Yeah.
she supports the Australian film industry, and she doesn't really go over to that American...
But it's like all of
side.
those guys, like who's old mate in Secret Invasion at the moment? The head of the Skrulls.
Oh, Ben Mendelsohn.
Ben Mendelsohn, Australian guy, you know, does Australian stuff, you know,
Yeah,
really
exactly.
good. Old mate who was in Iron Man 3. He was the bad dude in Iron Man 3.
Oh, freak. Not Ben Kingsley.
No.
Guy Pearce.
Guy Pearce, Australian guy. You know, Guy Pearce, I think he was in Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. You know,
Probably.
big Australian actors that have gone overseas, and good on them. It furthers their career. But again, they support the Australian industry. They basically live in Australia.
Yeah, because, like, Kate Blanchett does a lot of both.
She does. Yeah.
Because, like, whether if it's your Thor Ragnaroks or your Indiana Jones 4s or
Yeah.
something like that. Sorry, my nose is a bit... We don't have any tissues here. But, I don't want to blow my nose on the air. But, no, so I think,
You can stop and go and get some if you want to do that.
I just want to keep going and get this.
Yeah, right.
No.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I don't know. I didn't see the movie, Jack. Was it a good movie?
Yeah, I liked it. I think it was just one of those movies that it's like it's not like not that it's not my genre because I can sit through it.
Yeah.
But it does come to a point where you just kind of like, this is going along for a little long.
Yeah, but so you are so used to the movies that have big explosions. There's a lot of mayhem.
Well, it wasn't that. Because like again, like not. It had a lot of humor in it. Don't get me wrong, but it was one of those things where it was like, your main focus is on this kid, which they legit called the new boy.
Yeah.
That's like his name throughout until they do something to him and they get rid of, like, I guess that spark of his culture that Mum was describing yesterday. And they gave him a real name.
Well, it's how not that I've seen it, but from what Mum was saying, is that how when European settlement came, we imposed our values and culture onto Aboriginal people, which in turn, they lost their culture because...
Exactly.
You know,
and I think it's a very important film.
Yeah.
For a lot of people to watch. But I think it's one of those things where it's like you need to kind of understand Aboriginal culture and kind of understand what your past is and like how Christian works type stuff.
Yeah, Christianity works, yeah.
Because not that Christianity is the main focus, but there is a lot of
well, he ends up on a mission, doesn't he?
Yeah, because there's like a lot of church scenes.
Yeah, it's a mission that they go to.
Yeah,
and that's what happened.
Kate Blanchett's like a priest.
Well, she's a nun.
Nun, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, she runs the church and stuff there. So I think it's one of those things where you just, if you don't understand Aboriginal or Christianity culture, you might be a little lost.
Yeah.
Because I think that while the movie's actually really good, I think that also if you're someone like me who likes Australian movies and stuff like that, it wasn't that it didn't have explosions, because there was actually a really intense fight scene that I actually really did like.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't an action scene, it was actually them putting out a fire with a montage of the kids staying up at the house doing stuff at the church.
Yeah.
Which was a very powerful scene, but again, it was one of those things where I was like, it came to a point when Mum said that they did that thing to the kid yesterday and gave him a real name. I was getting bored through that part, so I slept a little bit.
Well, I'm not allowed to, but you are.
No, but like the thing is that like I didn't have anyone there basically saying wake up until Mum would occasionally nudge me.
Like you do to me.
But it's like, that's basically like, look, stop, I've had a bloody... Not that I had an awful week at work, but I keep waking up early, that's a problem.
Oh, you get that. Just like the rest of us, Jack. But anyway, but it was a good movie, though.
Yeah, it was a good movie overall. Like, I would definitely recommend watching it. Because I said to Mum, the movie's not awful. It's not one of the worst movies I've seen. Like, every movie I gave this year, maybe except for 2 or 3, I've given 4 out of 5 stars to.
And you do that for this one?
This one was a 3.5.
Yep. Yeah, so
So it wasn't a bad movie. It's just one of those things where it's like, even the movie, because like, I don't just like things with big explosions. Because my second favorite movie of the year is Scream 6. That doesn't really have a lot of explosions in it. It's mainly horror.
Yeah.
So it's not really the explosion stuff. It's just like, do I understand the culture? Can I accept this story for what they're trying to do?
Yeah.
And I think I can. I think it's just one of those things where it's like, if you don't watch a lot of those films like I do, you're kind of like, well, how does this society work?
Yeah. Oh, well, that's good.
So,
I'll have to go and watch it.
Yeah, the problem, and this is another thing that we can quickly talk about. Making shit at 10 o'clock in the bloody morning.
Well, for the local cinemas where it's being screened at. Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
It is, and that's the thing. And see, this is where the Australian industry, like, it becomes
I don't want to say that they're dumb, but they're like, they don't think of, let's make it more of a wide release so we can... Okay, 2 showings, but not 1 at 10.
Yeah. And see, this is the thing, Jack. They don't want to... They'll show it in one theatre. They'll put it on at some silly time in the morning when everyone's at work.
Yeah.
And that's because... The reason they do that is because it's not so much because it's an Australian film, but it's got a different storyline. it doesn't pull the crowds in because it's not that mayhem and of explosions and car chases and death and destruction. It tells a story of, you know, of Australia, basically, of early Australia.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's really sad. But for local picture theatres like here, it's a commercial excuse as well. Like, oh, well, we put it on at that time of the morning, knowing that there's not going to be a lot of people around. And it's one theatre that we opened, so we're not going to make a lot of money off it. And it's like, well, yeah, that's fine. But
you need to kind of... You need
You
to
need to put a
understand
couple-
that not a lot of people are going to be awake at 9 o'clock or whatever.
well, they're going to be
morning.
at work. You know, this is through the week. They'll be at work.
Oh, I was maybe talking about the weekend.
Weekend, but yeah, weekend. Put it on of an afternoon. You know,
Yeah,
and
it's like, if you want to do one show on, that's fine, but you're not going to get a really good... Like, I don't think that they're looking for a great box office, because I don't think it's one of those things where they're going to make a sequel. But I think it's one of those things where it's like, you need to kind of understand, if you want a decent amount of numbers, you need it as a last showing.
yeah, and you know, and the reason we make movies not only for the entertainment, but it's the people who make movies is to make money out of.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
to tell their story, but also to make money.
Exactly.
And
I
that's
think
why we need to support the industry. And as I said, Jake, if you ever end up in the movie industry, you're going to start in Australia. So you got to support the Australian stuff.
Exactly, and it's not that I don't like Australian films, because I think that most of those Trop Fests are Australian, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Those things, I don't think that... I think that there are ways to expand those stories out into a full movie.
Yeah.
Because when those films hit, they hit.
Yeah.
But when you have a miss like the... What was a miss of... I thought was a miss? I thought that one of the kids, like, playing with the Hot Wheels cousins was a bit of a miss.
Oh, no,
was
that
like-
wasn't... For me, that wasn't a miss. That was... You need to watch that again now that you're a little bit older, Jack, and you'll get what that was about.
Because, like, the... I forgot what it was, I think...
Because there was no dialogue in that at all.
Oh, there's no dialogue in any of them.
Oh, no, except for Boo.
Oh, one word. Boom. Yeah. You see, those movies are good, and they're Australian.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're also shorts. I think that Australia's good at feature-length stuff. I think it's just one of those things where it's like, if someone's not interested in that type of drama, because I like dramas, but it depends on the drama.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
This one was a drama. It had me in the first, like, hour or so.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, but then when it got to a certain point, I kind of
Got a little bit slow for you.
got a little slow, and that's why I started to fall asleep. But then I got up at the right moment, and it kind of picks back up a little bit.
That's all right.
So, but yeah, no, it's good. So I would definitely recommend going and seeing it.